So a guy walks into a rabbi's office. Stop me if you know this one. And he says to the rabbi, look, not Jewish. I want to become Jewish. I know, right? Right now. And I just don't have time. I'm in a super rush. This needs to be an express job. I need this, the whole Jew thing, on one foot. And the rabbi, you may have heard this one, his name was Shammai, very pedantic, a legalist man, kicked him out. Like, nope, this doesn't happen on one foot. This is not fast food. Goodbye. So the guy goes and gets a second opinion, goes across the street to another rabbi's office and says to him, Rabbi, I want to be Jewish, really quick, the whole thing on one foot. The rabbi, Hillel, famous, says, sure, welcome. Here's the whole thing. Stand on one foot. Stand on one foot. Little tree pose thing here. And they say, oh, you know this. Yeah, Hillel says to him, do not do to others what you don't want to be done to you. Well, we just sang, Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha, love the other as you love yourself. Period. End of story. Welcome. You're Jewish. Sorry. Shabbat shalom. So, you all know the story? Isn't that amazing? This is a 2,000-year-old story that a lot of us know. And if you don't, you do now. Comes from the Talmud. Some sages were telling it. It's not just a story. It's a story about the power of stories. It's a story about the power of protest against power. It's a story about opening the door to everyone because everyone is holy. And it's a story about the power of love as the key trope of what does it mean to be part of the Jewish people, but not just the Jewish people. Protest of power. All of us are holy, and love is at the center. These are the three ideas that I want us to briefly focus on tonight because they are so relevant and needed. And because as it happens, the Torah story read in a synagogue near you tomorrow morning is from the Torah portion called Kedoshim, which means all are holy. And it's in the middle of the book of Vayikra, the book of the great call to presence, otherwise known as Leviticus. And in this Torah story are three lines, three ideas that I want to focus on that are in this story about Hillel and Shammai, the two great sages who disagreed a lot, big time, blue-red big time, but figured it out with respect. Because at the heart is love and holy and how to protest to power, real time, but figure out the right way to do it. Kedoshim is a complicated Torah portion. It was my bar mitzvah portion. I know. It includes the great, oh, Naomi's too. We had a double one, but this was it too. Yeah, no, both of them. We can chant it by heart right now. We won't. But Kedoshim includes the big zinger of like, if you're having sex with another guy, you both should die. Awesome. Thank you. No. Patriarchy. Next. But it has the important ones we're going to look at in a moment. This matters now more than ever. This country is more divided since the Civil War. Israel is more divided than it's ever been, and there are no charts to mark where we are and where it's going. And the suffering for Israelis and for Palestinians, for folks on campuses, for our families and friends, the ones close to the story, on the ripples of the story, this is bigger than what any of us have known. And we're only 6 months, 7 months in. So how to figure out some of these lessons is critical, like tincture. These are healing tools for how we can be less the problem and more the solution. Figuring out how to protest power with dignity, truth with passion, how to honor each other's truth and open the doors to each other. Remember that we're all holy. Stories is going to be the container to help us It's this pain management. It's pain management we need right now. We have tools at our disposal. And this Torah portion, Kedoshim, has a few of those. So let's start with the first pasuk. Maria, if you would turn the Torah up. There it is, the first verse of this parasha. Speak to the whole Israelite community and say to them, you shall all be holy, for I, the eternal, your God, Havaya, ever-presence, am holy. Daber el kol adat bnei Israel, el kol adat bnei Israel. Speak to every single one of the community, every one holy. Get it? Born this way, holy. Who you love, what you vote, which way you go, which way you don't, holy. Because whatever is the spark that is within us, the life force, holy. And so what this verse is reminding us is what Hillel was reminding. This guy is like, of course, okay, 1 foot, we'll make it work. Everybody holy, we'll all have access to this thing in different ways. All holy doesn't mean we're all the same. We're beautifully unique and different. But there's a holy spark. We got to remember it, even with those with whom it feels, anything but holy. Because holy is maybe how we are born, but it's our deeds that will determine whether we live lives of sanctity and equity and kindness, or whether in the name of holiness, we are way, way off. And sadly, there are many on this planet, including in our community, who in the name of holiness forget that everyone is holy. So let's remember tonight that at the core of it, we all are holy. Okay, so now ask me the question, but wait a minute. The Torah just says, Adat B'nai Israel. So only the congregation of the people of Israel, everyone is holy? Well, what about my neighbor? What about my wife, my son, my partner, my boss, my everybody else in our family who's not necessarily born Jewish or chose to be Jewish or not at all? That's where the protest comes in. Good. We inherited this. It's a beautiful teaching. Everyone is holy. Radiant beings. But when they wrote this, it was a family text for the family of the Semites, the Jews who said, okay, we're talking about us. They didn't think about 60 to 75% of intermarriage. Wasn't who they were. It's who we are now. Awesome. Complicated. Real. So, we're redefining what this text means. We are protesting something that doesn't feel like it quite fits who we are right now. And this Talmudic story I told you about, you see how it's about protest? Because it's saying to Shammai, dude, you can keep the law and you can keep them out, but where's the love? If you just stick to the law and do it on 1 foot, okay, you're protecting the law, but are you opening the door to the people who seek what you might have to offer? There's protest in that story, and so protest is important. And I know that you are thinking what I'm thinking when I say protest. So it's happening right outside in front of NYU and everywhere in this country and in the streets of Israel and throughout Europe and in Sweden this weekend because of the Eurovision. There's a lot of protest, and a lot of it is as correct and passionate and accurate and needed as what this story says. Talk truth to power. And sometimes it gets way out of hand and messages are muddled. Something is missing. Something is really hurting. And I'm not getting to the politics of this right now. I'm talking about the what and the how. Protests are necessary. They are sacred. They can get very messy on both sides of those who protest and those who block protests. But protest is in our tradition as a must. Let's go to the next verse. There it is, right there, coming up, Maria. In a moment, we're flipping. There you go. We scroll to the right place. לא תשנא את אחיך בלבביך, הוכח תוכיח את עמיתך, ולא תישא עליו חטא. Do not hate your kinfolk in your heart. Start there. Reprove your kindred and incur no guilt on their account. Protest. Now notice the words here, right? There is kinfolk and kindred, achicha, amitecha. These are not just synonyms. These are specific terms. Your family, your neighbors, your people you in the same zip code with, different types of we. Again, this is a Bronze Age text, people. Okay? They didn't live in a big city. It was very small. But here is the message. Keep your heart as clean as you can. Hate will come. Process. And rebuke. When you're seeing your kinfolks doing something that you ethically know feels wrong to you, stand up. Speak up. We have to protest. And we have been protesting for so many causes over the years. And right now there are many of us in the streets with different slogans perhaps, but with a similar pain and with a deep desire for change. So the protest is necessary, but the how is what will really make the healing happen. So that's where the love comes in. That story about protest and about holiness really is about love. And that's the next verse I want us to look at. This is the centerpiece. This, the verse behind me, is the very centerpiece, the bullseye of the Torah. If you take a Torah scroll and open it up, as we did on October 8th, Simchat Torah, we gathered in Brooklyn, remember? A lot of us were there. Didn't even know how much broken our hearts can get. But we opened the Torah in a big circle, and we focused on this line, smack in the middle of the Torah. 5 books. This is the 3rd book. In the middle of the 3rd book, in the middle of the chapter, inside the middle of it all is this line. לא תקום ולא תיטור את בני עמך ואהבת לרעך כמוך אני הוויה. Don't take vengeance or bear grudge against members of your people, and love your fellow as yourself. I am ever-present God. There you have it. The response to what do we do with the Kedoshim that's just about the Jewish people is that even our ancestors knew that it's not just about my people, it's about our people. And we need to expand our circles of empathy and consciousness and inclusivity, not at the expense of who we are, but alongside who we are. Like Hillel, open the door. Look at this verse closely. It starts with saying something about revenge, which is a real human thing. And it says, watch it, temper it, minimize it, deal with it before it gets out of control. And love everybody else as you love yourself. The first part of this verse begins with the family, and then it extends to the greater family. V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your fellow as you love yourself. That word fellow, re'ah, means a lot of things, but it could mean friend, other, neighbor, the one you think is your foe, the one you know is your friend. This is the centerpiece, the core verse that our ancestors placed in our sacred scripture. And Hillel, the elder, knows that if you stand on one foot, all you need is love and vav. That vav of ve'ahavta. That and that says, yeah, love my people and others too. It's hard to love the ones that I don't love instantly, immediately. Yes, it's really hard to love people who don't vote like you. And we're about to enter that season big time, y'all. We already are. And it's hard to love the people across the protest line from you with very different visions about what's right and what's wrong. And holy is what determines us, and it is messy, and we're hurting. But these three truths, that love is at the center, and we need to push ourselves as best as we can, and that we're all born holy, and we are invested in the same vision, this ecosystem of ever-presence. We need each other to flourish. It's never an either or. It's got to be a both and. Everywhere. Everywhere. There's no one holy land. There's no one holy people. There's a holy earth and there are holy people. And this is us. And this is it. And we have to evolve, protest the patriarchal fear that we inherited with love and with respect towards the goal of love and change together. The stories, like the story about the 1 foot, is how we get beyond division. When you hear each other's story, why are you protesting? I'm curious, what is your view? Tell me. And you hear mine, it isn't about facts, it's about feelings. And our brain is powered to have more empathy when a story tells me why you think what you think, and why are you screaming at me like can we just shh? Can I hear your story? Even on 1 foot, I'll tell you mine. So stories are one of the tools we've inherited to hear each other, listen to each other, tone it down, de-escalate, protest the powers that are destroying our planet. Yes, in so many ways, our disappointments, our hurts. Yes, protest, but let's find how to do it with respect, because we are holy, and the love is how will get us there. That's the vision that we want. Not pain for pain's sake. In the center of our story is this reminder to re-love. That we are holy. The door is open. The stories are our tools, our tinctures for healing and the listening to each other. This coming week is big. A lot of stories. In Israel, it will be the day of remembering the fallen and the terror victims and the soldiers on Yom HaZikaron, followed right by Yom HaAtzmaut, the Day of Independence, 76 years. Our Palestinian community and friends will, on May 15th, mark Nakba Day, the day in which 1948 created so much suffering alongside so much flourishing. And we will walk our talk between these different events all week to mark each other's stories and to rise from the rubble into a vision of both and, because there's no other way. That's the Hillel way. Love. Say yes. Open the door on 1 foot. That's all you need to know. And listen to each other's stories. So let's listen to each other's stories. We are made in the image of the divine. And this Shabbat of Kedoshim, let's remember, we are holy. We're made of love. And we've got this. Shabbat Shalom.
Tincture is here. Come get it.
Aleinu, it's on us. It's on us to show up for offering and receiving the healing we want to see in the world. And Sky, as you might know by now, I came to Lab Shul about 1.5 years ago through Sam. Yay. Yes. Thank you. And in regards to offering and receiving healing, this isn't easy, but I think in some ways it can be simple. The foundation is our presence and compassion offered free of assumptions and expectations. We can offer this to ourselves and to those around us, especially when we don't know what the right next thing is, especially when we don't really know the other person or their story, and especially when we don't really know the other within ourselves. We're going to take a very brief moment to practice this collectively right now. So take a breath, let it out, and call up your beingness, your you-ness. Imagine your essential you-ness filling you up, like water, like a breath of fresh air. This is for you on Zoom too, everybody. And then when you're filled up, offer it. Offer it. Not to be taken away, but to be taken in. To be kind company. And check out the beingness that is being offered in the space. What do you want to take in? Let's take one more breath together. And you can say thank you to your neighbor for their presence. Yeah. And when you leave here, remember that it's on us to cultivate this essential skill at the foundation of healing. Aleinu.
Shabbat Shalom. Is the thing on? I should go here because that's why. All right. Hello. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's me, your Uncle Bernie. And I'm delighted to be here with you at Lab Shul. I know you're probably expecting Sarah Sokolik for the announcements, but I told her she deserves a break for her birthday, and I'd be happy to do them in her stead. You know, I've gotten very close with her, Sarah and me. Very close, somewhat of an unexpected pair, you could say, but we have a lot in common. First, a flair for iconic fashion. She for her stylish jumpsuits, and me for my practical winter mittens. Second, social media savvy. Sarah is so talented she could produce a viral TikTok dance challenge about fiscal responsibility, while I have gained a tremendous following with millennials and Gen Zers on X, formerly known as Twitter, with my grumpy posts and socialist economics. Third, sports. We were both avid basketball players back in our days. You might not have known that about neither one of us. And we are excited to see our New York Knickerbockers head to a championship this year. Let's go Knicks! Tonight marks my 4th visit to Lab Shul since 2021, and I must confess, I'm starting to feel like part of the furniture. But not just any furniture, maybe one of those old sturdy chairs that everyone says is too loud when it creaks, but no one wants to throw it out because it's surprisingly comfortable. That kind of chair. Anyway, hold on. We hold my mitten. I must say, contrary to my Orthodox Jewish upbringing, Lab Shul's God-optional mission really resonates with me. It's a lot like my own approach to politics. Everybody friendly, billionaires optional. And just between us, both God and the billionaires tend to keep their distance from me, so it works out perfectly. But enough of that, enough of that. I'm here for the announcements, and I'm gonna give it to you straight. But given that we're in a wonderfully everybody-friendly community like this, let me assure you that straight is just one of the many fabulous options on the menu here at the Lab Shul. So first up, are you age 60-ish or older and interested in exploring different ways of aging wisely, generatively, and soulfully in a small group of other seekers? I'm gonna talk to Benjamin over here. Generate is the fourth cohort of Generate is launching. You'll be involved in a nurturing, inclusive, year-long journey. Asking questions, what it means to get older and such. Applications are open, info sessions are starting. Check out the newsletter from today from Ben. Who read the newsletter from today from Ben? Woo! And Clergy Ben, Sam Hipschman are your co-facilitators. We got a lot of info sessions coming up. But Ben and Sam, please, I implore you, do not take the group on a field trip to the Senate floor. There is nothing wise, generative, or soulful about it, I can assure you that.
Heard.
Next. This is a series of rituals and gatherings that call us to focus on the truth of our interdependence, like the rabbi was saying. Interdependence. I need an invitation. You have to talk to my people. But I'll be there. Ve'ahavta. And I'd like the Joe Altakaka thing happening here tonight. I just wanted to say that. Anyway, a week's long of interdependence rituals and programs. It's really no jokes, just hopes. Check out the Lab Shul online for the calendar. Lots of stuff, including the rabbi's birthday, for God's sakes. Monday night for the partnerhood. Monday night, Rabbi's birthday. It's on the web, it's in the computer. All right, next, labs. We got labs, everybody. Labs galore. We got one for the little ones. We got one for the big ones. We got Naomi. We got Shira. And you'll play, you'll pray, you'll learn about the mystical meaning of the letter Hey. So go. And that's what's happening there. And before I jump to June, I think Naomi has something else going on that didn't make it into the slides.
Well, Bernie, I know that you've thought a lot about this as well, too. We are hosting our first self-produced Death Over Dinner. It'll be May 20th, and this is a real beautiful invitation. It's the Jewish edition of this that was created. Amichai, you were helpful in this as well too with Reboot. We'll be gathering over dinner in a beautiful Brooklyn backyard under the stars, weather permitting. Otherwise, we'll go inside and talk about like the taboo pieces that we aren't necessarily so comfortable talking about. And it's really a powerful program, and I really invite. There will be limited space, so make sure you RSVP. It's on our website, and there's also, for these events, there's a QR code at the front. You can get all this information on your phone.
QR, tell me
Do you know
what
what
that
a
is
QR
later. You
code
tell me
is?
what that
Yeah,
is
okay.
later. My people know what that is, but I don't know what that is. You'll tell me about that.
I'll tell you about it later.
Tell me about it. All right, good.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good?
We're good.
Okay. Next, June. Let's see, where was I? This coming June, join Lab Shul for the next courageous conversations about Israel-Palestine, the last one in the series of 5 of them there were. This is the 5th one coming up, led by a wonderful, capable activist and facilitator. Sarah Alpert. Sarah. Sarah, first, I just want to say, just 1 second. Talk to me after. I'm thinking about relaunching my presidential campaign. I think you'd be a fantastic campaign manager. Talk to me after. Never mind. We'll talk later. Anyway, okay. Now, Sabbath Queen, 1 month from tonight, we will be here again for our final Sabbath Queen, kicking off world premiere weekend for the Sabbath Queen movie. A documentary by the award-winning Sandy Dabowski. Sandy? Where's Sandy? Sandy, I was told you'd be sitting over there, so my head went to this way, but you're here. Sandy Dabowski has been following Rabbi Amichai for 21 years, and the story is going to be told in June. The world premiere, I had a sneak peek, and I can tell you this is a transformational piece, truly a transformational piece of societal shift happening. Now, if you would like to give Sarah Sokolic a nice birthday present, and I swear she did not put me up to this. She didn't. But if you would like to, buy a ticket to the Lab Shul Gala on June 18th, honoring Sandy Dabowski and celebrating the film and many other wonderful things. You'll be happy to know that I, Bernie Sanders, fully endorse this fundraiser because there are ticket prices for every budget. You got $1 million net worth or over? Buy a 5-figure sponsorship, will you, for God's sakes? You could do it. Stop thinking about those Hampton House payments and just stretch and get yourself a sponsorship. But listen, if you're a student or a nonprofit person or you're on a fixed budget, that's good too. You can also come to the gala, any price. You tell us, you come and you celebrate. Okay, I meant them, us, them. I'm part of it. I'm falling into it. Other people that will be honored at the gala: Libby Lenkinski, Mariam Shishji, and Rima, the mother of the filmmaker, Rima Dabowski. We're kvelling. Okay, I'm almost there. Some announcements about dinner tonight. If you registered ahead of time, you have a bracelet, okay? And then you can stay for dinner. We're sold out. If you don't have a bracelet and you registered for the dinner, see Stefan. Where's my Stefan in the back? Okay? And then when this is finished with the Joe Altakakas and all the things, we're going to move all the chairs and the tables, and you'll know when it's time because Stefan will help, and everyone's going to help. So we're going to move it all. Okay, that's what's going to happen then. And then finally, okay. Now, I'm sharing this without Sarah's permission also again. You are all very important to her. This job that she's been doing for 7 years means everything to her. Everything. It's more than a job. It's a life's purpose. She has grown and she has stretched more in this 7 years than she ever has before in her life, and has become a better human because of it. You are her community. All the partners and the people, even if you're here for the first time, you're hers, you're in her heart. Are the volunteers, the staff, the board members, everything. It means everything to her, and she cherishes it. So on behalf of Sarah, I want to say thank you.
Thank you, Bernie.
Thank you, Bernie.
Wow.
What a great way to get us kicked off into our gratitudes. So, would like to direct your attention to the slide for deep gratitude to the composers of tonight's music. Deep gratitude to all of the people that make this event happen. The Lab Shul staff, the
Oh, we
design
skipped over the
and
composers really fast.
Go back, yeah.
Let's go back. Let's go back, Maria. Yeah, there we go. So much music tonight. Okay, thank you.
All the folks that made this happen tonight. There is the Lab Shul staff, there is the design and marketing team, there is the audio, video, and production staff, including the return of Amanda Harris tonight, and we're so grateful for that. Thank you, Amanda, and Amanda Horowitz online. We have our caterer of the community feast by Mamoons. Thank you, Liz Alpern, for organizing that, as always. Gratitude to our friends and partners at Judson Memorial Church. And if you volunteered tonight, please stand and let us recognize you. As always, volunteers, the flowers are you. They are you, and they are for you. So please take them home. You are so beautiful to me. And I want to recognize Jasmine De Leon on percussion. Shira Klein, our music director, bringing us all the way through. Thank you, Shira. Rabbi Amichai Lavie, Naomi Les, and me, Ben Freeman. And
you are a radiant being
of light and healing, I feel peace, I am safe, I heal from a whole place.
We're going to make our way back into our service and into our swirl, and we'll go there together, but let's take a breath together. I am a radiant being of light and healing. I feel peace, I am safe.
I heal from a whole
Sabbath Queen says, pause for peace. Remember where we were an hour and a half ago? Is our heart a little different, softer? God, what a journey we've been on, including what just happened? Wow. Yeah, laughter is another big tool in our healing toolbox. The stories of our soul. Our soul needs all the love it needs right now to soar, to survive, to thrive, to be on this Shabbat and every day that comes, and this new moon and all the ones still coming.